listed on Altex about 3 years ago. Of course, the company is a lot older than that, 31 years old. The rationale for moving to the main board of the JSE, what is it?
Well, when we went onto the Altex, the main reason was we're probably the largest CC in the world at the time, and we needed 3 years audited figures. Putting out our annual results this year was our third audited figures, and it was just a progression for us. We always saw ourselves as being part of the main board.
Let's take a look at the business then as it stands, and the kind of growth prospects you foresee moving forward from the current market share you hold.
Well, the growth prospects, the core Ellies business is still growing year on year, and that's being the LSAT business, which is your satellite. We're still the largest distributors in Southern Africa. Our Ellies business, which is terrestrial antennas, domestic electrical products, industrial audio. We have been a little bit hurt on the infrastructural electronics, but going forward, 2011 is going to be a very exciting year for us. Hence the green tower, we're going to go very big into renewable energies. We'll be launching our new green building in January, which will be one of the very first head offices as relying on renewable energy. Everything, the lights, computers, everything will be working with renewable energy. And we're also going into internet via satellite, bi-directional. So we've got some very exciting things coming for 2011.
Wayne, good morning. Graham Ledwith at BOE. Can I ask a question? With regard to expansion, you're not worried that satellite TV in South Africa is a mature business?
On the contrary, we're seeing year on year the figures are growing. So every year our figures are growing in satellite. We must stop thinking about satellite as being an elitist product. It's actually a product for the masses. And our sales at the moment are showing at least 80% of sales are going through to previously disadvantaged areas.
Wayne, have you seen any noticeable increase in sales since the introduction of Top TV earlier this year? Has that added to your sales?
I think so. In other words, we always see his competition as being very good, and if anything, it's made MultiChoice more aggressive and come up with more promos. And overall, we've seen a growth in satellite sales.
Well, you've talked about growth in terms of your product offering and here in South Africa. On a geographic basis, though, what kind of opportunities are you chasing on the continent where that is, for many companies at this stage, the next growth leg?
Yeah, well, Ellies has had branches in Namibia and Botswana for many years. We opened up a branch in Swaziland this year. We've got strong agencies now in Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe. And one of our products that we're launching next year being the internet via satellite Skyvine, we've got a big drive to go into Africa with that.
Wayne, when we chatted at your most recent results, you also talked about entering the consumer appliances market with products like kettles, toasters, hair dryers, etc. How's that gone? Has that started to take off?
It started to go off slowly. We didn't have any major expectations of taking the market by storm. You've got some very well-established brands in the market coming from New World and AMAP. But we're quite impressed about our progress. We in the spas, micas, Edcons, etc. So we have made some traction in a short while.
Wayne, just with regard to shareholding, is it your intention, will management and your team retain a large shareholding, personally?
Well, we'll probably maintain as we have at the moment. Management holds around about 65 to 70%. We're very cautious not to diminish the free float, especially going onto the main board now. Part of us going on the main board is changing perception, getting our share price up, and improving the image of the company. And I think it will be defeating all purposes for management to have bigger shareholding.
Wayne, what is that free float, and are you raising any additional capital now that you're listing on the main board?
No, we won't be raising any additional capital. We did have that rights issue last year, which was converting vendor liabilities into shares. But as far as dilution goes, we don't have any plans to dilute any further.
And the free float?
The free float at the moment we're happy with. If we see down the line with massive expansion into the renewable energy that we need extra cash, which we don't see at the moment, we would probably look at floating some more shares.
Graham, your view on a company like Ellies right now, with the kind of growth that that we're hearing about at this stage and the kind of opportunities they're chasing from here on out?
Well, it sounds interesting. That's why I asked some of the questions about a mature business, because you would have automatically thought that perhaps it is, but as Wayne said, it is an expanding business. I'd like to ask him another question, if I may. I understand, Wayne, that Ellies has an agreement with Altec with regard to installing set-top boxes. You must be quite pleased with this announcement that came in this morning, that South Africa and SADC are going to adopt the European system for digital TV.
We're very excited. At least there's been a peg put in the ground. We know where we're going, and hopefully the ball can get rolling. As we've been saying for quite a while, is that the protection of analog signals still sitting at 2015 where it ends. Time is getting shorter, and so the pressure on business is getting greater. We're just hoping the minister now, with saying it's going to go DVB, is going to start rolling out the plan sooner rather than later. Our agreement with Altec UEC still stands for the retail distribution, and Ellies is definitely going to try and get involved in the subsidised model as well.
Wayne, I realise you're probably in a closed period at the moment because I think you have an April year end. Can you talk to us about the prospects though? Because last time we chatted, you were doing pretty well during the recession. Many people staying at home and watching TV rather than going out and spending money. Well, what are trading conditions like at the moment? Are you still seeing a continuation of that?
We've been very fortunate in our spread of goods are generally in the right sectors, and we've seen a continual growth in our business. We honestly believe going to the main board now is part of setting up all the building blocks in the right places. We've proven ourselves through very, very tough times. We believe a turnaround should be coming 2011, 2012, and we should be primed to capitalise on that.
And Wayne, just finally, what sorts of improvement do you think you'll get in investor interest in the company now that it's going to be listed on the main board? Because I presume that many fund managers may not look at Altec's listed companies. Do you think you will get more investor interest?
We're hoping so. We're hoping we've taken a little bit more seriously. I think for a company that's performed as well as we have over the last 3 years, to be sitting on a 6p is a little bit disappointing. But you know, a lot of the analysts have come back to us and said, listen, if you're on the main board, we'll take you more seriously, we'll speak to you more often, and we're hoping that that comes to fruition.